It was the sort of tale murmured about in elite gatherings. A grand ivory estate loomed at the city's outskirts, its high glass panes mirroring the radiant dawn light. Yet within those panes, turmoil simmered. Every caregiver who entered that home departed swiftly, some left sobbing, others swearing never to return. The tycoon's twin sons, only 6 years old, were deemed uncontrollable by every childcare service in the area. Their father, Victor Langley, a dominant corporate titan, possessed vast riches but no tranquility in his household. The boys had lost their mother when they were barely walking, and with each new nanny they challenged rules, pushed limits, and ensured no one could fill the void of love they'd lost. That morning, another nanny stormed out the front gate, grumbling. She'd had enough. Victor stood there, weary and frustrated, pondering how 2 young children could stir such chaos that no grown-up could manage. If you cherish kindness, fresh starts, and the strength of empathy for even the most wounded souls, please pause now to like this video. Share it with someone craving hope, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories for more uplifting tales that reveal how compassion can transform all. That same day, a woman named Clara approached the estate's towering gates. She wasn't a trained caregiver. She was a housekeeper seeking a cleaning job. Her attire was plain, her eyes slightly weary, and her hands bore the quiet resilience of a lifelong worker. The agency sent her because, honestly, no one else would take the role. Upon entering, she observed more than just opulence. She noticed theory, quiet, unnatural for a home with 2 young boys. She saw Victor in his flawless suit, stating curtly that her task was to clean, not meddle. But Clara's gaze drifted to the staircase, where 2 small faces peered out, their eyes brimming with distrust. From the outset, the twins tested her. They tipped over vases, spilled juice on the freshly scrubbed floor, and hid her cleaning tools. Most would have reprimanded them, but Clara didn't. She recognized the pranks for what they were, a plea for notice, a challenge to see if she'd abandon them like others. At night she overheard them, whispering to each other, their voices soft and hesitant, wondering if she'd leave tomorrow. That moment sparked a change within her. She resolved not to just tidy the house, but to reach the hearts concealed behind there. Defiance. Days stretched into weeks. Clara didn't counter the boys' antics with anger. She met them with patience. She discovered that the elder twin, Noah, acted bold but secretly treasured his mother's old scarves, tucking them under his pillow. The younger twin, Owen, caused trouble to mask his need for a lullaby to sleep. Clara began quietly doing things no one had bothered to do before. She'd slip small notes into their lunchboxes, simple phrases like, "You're braver than you know," or "Your mum would be so proud." She cooked meals the boys enjoyed, even if it meant extra effort. She found ways to involve them in her tasks, turning chores into fun games, so they felt valued, not overlooked. Victor started noticing shifts he couldn't explain. The boys, who once slammed doors and shunned dinner, now came eagerly when Clara called. Their laughter, once scarce and fleeting, now echoed through the halls. For the first time in years, the estate felt less like a cold, hollow structure and more like a home. Yet Victor still didn't grasp how Clara achieved what no professional caregiver could. One evening he returned early from work and froze at the sight. The boys were nestled asleep on the bed, one on each side of Clara, who had dozed off while reading to them. The scene was so serene, so filled with warmth, that Victor felt a pang in his heart he hadn't allowed since his wife's passing. Despite the progress, Clara's work wasn't simple. There were setbacks, days when the boys fell silent or grief erupted in sudden outbursts. But Clara never gave up. She taught them to plant flowers in the garden, explaining that, like flowers, wounded hearts needed care and time to heal. Gradually, the boys began to trust not only her but themselves. Months passed, and one rainy evening, Victor overheard something that moved him to tears. The twins were in their room, chatting before bed. Noah whispered, "Do you think Clara will Leave? And Owen replied softly, "No, she's different, she's home." That word, home, shifted something in Victor. He realized Clara hadn't just cared for his sons. She'd restored the love, stability, and hope they'd lost. One weekend, Victor invited Clara to join him and the twins for breakfast. The boys were unusually thrilled, and halfway through the meal, Victor announced that Clara would no longer be just the housekeeper. She was now their full-time caretaker, as much a part of the family as anyone could be. Tears glistened in Clara's eyes, but she smiled, knowing the true reward wasn't the title or role. It was seeing two young boys smile without fear of being abandoned. If this story warmed your heart and reminded you of the power of patience, kindness, and selfless care, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone needing a spark of hope, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories for more tales that show the might of compassion. Special request: before this video ends, I'd love for you to comment below. Do you believe love and patience can transform even the toughest hearts? I can't wait to read your thoughts.